Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're back reacting to another reaction of my good friend. I gotta get YouTube channel name. The Critical Drinker. Man, I love this. He's funny as hell. So today he's reacting to The Little Mermaid. For those who don't know, Little Mermaid has been getting a lot of racist going on right now. I completely agree. I don't think she's supposed to be black, but I can see what Disney is trying to do, trying to appeal to a multiple audience. But if y'all notice that Disney has not been pumping out a lot of these animation shows they used to do back in the day when we were kids. Thank God I grew up in the 90s. All my 90s people in the comments and who subscribe to me, thank God we were blessed in the 90s and some of us blessed in the 80s because we saw it all. And then we get to the year 2000 and Disney's like, fuck this shit. Let's just remake shit and make it more realistic. Yeah, let's swap some characters out. We're gonna make Aladdin the genie Will Smith, and then we're gonna make Mulan garbage. And it released in COVID, so I didn't even see it, but I saw people just bashing that movie. They was just like, man. But anyway, let's check out and see what my boy gonna say.
You know, the older I get, the more I've come to realise how fucking lucky I was to grow up in the 1990s. It was a simpler, more optimistic, more innocent decade when movies were still awesome, Britannia was still cool, people didn't get fucking offended by everything. Lara Croft was an awesome ass-kicking adventurer with a fantastic pair of guns, instead of a miserable waste of polygons that constantly apologises for existing. It was a time when going online was a once-a-week treat that cost £10 an hour and required a trip to a special cafe, instead of an all-consuming dystopian nightmare where people spend millions of man-hours arguing with 12-year-old edgelords on the other side of the worlds. It was also the era of the Disney Renaissance.
I also blame the internet. I blame the internet so much because the internet has allowed people to have these digital voices where they can just dress their opinion. It's okay to just have your own voices to correct and comment on things, but man, certain people abuse that power and use it as a source to like to target the media. It's like, for example, Black Panther that's coming out. I think it comes out next month or the month November or something like that. And people are upright complaining about that they should recast T'Challa, and they got upset about it because he died for her. Do you not know how many black characters that can play T'Challa? You know how racist you all sound when you say that? You don't want no other. Think about that. This is a black superhero, right? Right? Now, I'm going to tell you what's going to really upset y'all. Now, what if they make Black Panther white in this movie? I bet a lot of y'all going to be pissed. Instead of us just getting a recast of another black person, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we got a white guy doing it. We got Leonardo da Vinci playing Black Panther. Even though don't get me wrong, Leonardo da Vinci is one of my favorite actors, but you know how crazy that would be? You know how hurt to my soul out? Because any actor can play Black Panther, just like any actor can play Batman. I want y'all to think about this, right? Think how many actors have played these characters over the years. Batman has had a different actor. Superman has had a different actor. Who else had a different actor? I'm trying to think who the superhero movie goes. There he is. Ghost Rider has had a different actor. The Incredible Hulk has had a different actor. And they still got the same Hulk as it is right now. Oh my God. You know, I don't know.
A roughly 10-year period of unbridled creativity and commercial success when Disney's animation studios cranked out classic movies like Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Pocahontas, The Lion King, Hercules.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Lion King as a kid growing up was always my top one favorite Disney Pixar movie. Nothing that Disney put out after that beat Lion King. Lion King 1 and 2 was the GOAT. That's right, the GOAT. The GOAT.
Hercules, Mulan.
And Mulan, and what else he say? Hello, what's good?
Studios cranked out classic movies like Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and Beast was most definitely in my top 5.
The Little Mermaid.
And Little Mermaid was in my top 5.
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas was in my top 5.
The Lion King, Hercules, Mulan, and Tarzan.
Mulan was in my top 5. Tarzan would have been in my top 5, but it is in my top 10.
They were fun, exciting, heartwarming adventures that dealt with timeless themes and ideas, and if you were a young kid in the mid-90s like me, then I can pretty much guarantee you knew the soundtracks to these films off by heart.
Yes, one thing I can agree with, when I was in school, I would literally be on my phone bumping Tarzan song, Lion King song, bro. I know all the Lion King songs off the top of it's engraved in my brain because I had the tapes. And back then, we didn't have DVDs. We had VCRs. So you had to buy the tapes. My mom. Oh, man. That was the stuff back in the day when they was kicking. Man, but Lion King had the most songs out of any of the shows. I mean, movies.
Truly, it seemed like Disney could do no wrong. Oh, how times have changed. The wide-eyed kids of the 90s are now cynical 30-somethings weighed down by the responsibilities of adult life, probably with asshole kids of their own, and quietly pining for the simple, carefree days of their childhoods. Meanwhile, the once family-friendly and patriotic Disney has mutated into a horrifyingly monstrous parody of its former self, an insatiable, franchise-gobbling monster relentlessly consuming good ideas and beloved characters to churn out an endless conveyor belt of bland, mediocre sludge. And since original creative thinking is for them what innovation and risk-taking is for NASA, it was only natural that they'd inevitably turn their eyes towards the past instead of the future. And truly, what better past to pilfer than the golden age of animated movies? I mean, they certainly got off to a strong start with Beauty and the Beast, a live-action remake of the 1991 original, which basically replicated the entire movie shot for shot. Sure, you could probably argue how lazy it was to basically make the same exact film again and sell it to a whole new generation, but who the fuck cares? Disney certainly...
Okay, I will say that I have seen the Beauty and the Beast remake movie. They literally did follow the actual story from the original one. It was actually pretty good, but then it went downhill, and y'all see it went downhill after they start pumping stuff after this.
They didn't, especially when it made a shit zillion dollars for them. Talk about money for old rope. Why take the chance on new, unproven ideas when you can basically dust off old scripts and sell people's childhoods back to them at an inflated price? The floodgates were well and truly open, and before you knew it, we were getting bombarded with modern-day remakes of classic animated movies. The only problem is that with each new installment, they got progressively more shit. But hey, they made the company shit tons of money, so who cares? Well, all of that changed with the release of Mulan a couple of years ago, a film that went wrong in basically every way possible. For a start,
that's where it started, Mulan. Man, they destroyed that movie.
It released in the middle of a global pandemic when the prospect of going to the cinema was about as appealing as a colonic irrigation using habanero chilies. Attempts to pander to the Chinese market backfired spectacularly since it fucked up most aspects of Chinese culture and history, and for rather obvious reasons, Western audiences weren't exactly thrilled by all things Chinese at that time either. As a result, the film bombed, and it wasn't the only one to attract negative attention. The first teaser trailer for the upcoming remake of The Little Mermaid has got one of the most brutal YouTube...
I thought you couldn't see that no more. Wait, so you can still see the dislike? Because I can see dislikes unless you probably got to click deep hard on the video or something.
Ratios since Frost decided to publicly torpedo her own company live on air. And to be honest, it's not entirely hard to...
I heard about what's going on with them.
See why? Because this movie basically exemplifies everything that's bad about these fucking remakes. And no, I'm not talking about the fact that the actor playing a mythical sea monster has got slightly different melanin levels in her skin. Disney baited the fans with that one because they knew they could use the resulting backlash to silence any actual criticism of the movie, and they fell for it, hook, line and sinker. Okay, that's enough nautical references for now. The bigger issues are more fundamental ones that you can apply to basically all of the Disney remake movies. I mean, for a start...
My thing is this, I know what a lot of people are complaining about, because I've seen the comments for that movie, for that trailer. For those who haven't seen the Little Mermaid trailer, read the comments about it. There are some racist people in this world. I can confirm that. There are a lot of them. And some of them wasn't racist, some of them actually made sense. Some people were saying, why y'all making her black when she's been white the entire time in the books? You wrote a book about her. Not only did you write a book about her, you made a cartoon about her. And then you made a movie about it, and she still was white. So it's like, I don't know what to tell y'all. Instead of just making their own separate character.
Look at the colour palette of this thing. Look how dark and muted and subdued everything is, and then compare it to the original animated movie. You see how much more bright and vibrant and interesting that world looks? Yeah, it's completely unrealistic that the deep ocean would look this way, but it doesn't really matter, because it's an animated movie with its own visual style, and that style allows the artist to set their own rules for how you engage with it as the audience. But the moment you bring live action into the equation, you immediately constrain yourself with the limitations of what people expect to see in the real world. That means the deep ocean is now a dark and foreboding place where Ariel is framed like some kind of terrifying monster instead of a plucky heroine longing to experience.
You also gotta realize how hard this is for this actor, because you know how much water they're dumping on this chick? They're dumping a lot of water on this girl and while they're shooting this movie.
Against the world above. Jesus, if you swap out the soundtrack for a horror theme, the face reveal feels like it should be more like this. This particular problem was especially noticeable in The Lion King, where the animators had been given the almost impossible task of anthropomorphing, humanizing the animal characters while also keeping them looking photorealistic, and the results were take a look at the original movie. You see how a
lot of people don't understand real life animals are hard to show expression, because have you ever really seen a lion smile in real life? Let's be real. I've seen a lion, but it doesn't smile. You know what it's doing? Licking its teeth and its lips, ready to eat your ass up. That's what it's doing.
Impressive and compelling the performances are. Yeah, obviously real animals can't move, talk and gesticulate anything like this, but it doesn't matter because just like the Little Mermaid movie, it's an animated film with its own rules about how these things work, so it becomes very easy to suspend your disbelief. Supposedly realistic CGI, on the other hand, doesn't have that luxury. And Jesus Christ, don't even get me started about Will Smith and Aladdin. God, I miss traditional cell animation. Yeah, I know it's more labor
Man, I miss animation so much, dude. I don't know what these companies are doing.
Intensive, and I know it can't deliver anything like the detail you get in Pixar movies, but holy shit, there's just something so much more satisfying about it. Knowing that actual artists had to draw and animate this stuff frame by frame, instead of pre-built character models running a series of programmed movements, is just so much more human and charming. Every fucking Pixar movie nowadays looks exactly like the one that came before it. They all have the same
oh my god, please don't do Toy Story, and please don't do Monster Inc. Leave those two alone.
And generic, soulless look about them, like you're eating a meal made from the same basic ingredients, only arranged in a slightly different way. I mean, would it kill movie studios to release the occasional film using traditional animation for once? Another issue that's been coming up more and more with these remakes is the alteration of characters and storylines to appeal to modern audiences. It started out with little things, like Emma Watson insisting that Belle be an inventor and engineer in Beauty and the Beast, because I guess being a fun-loving, intelligent young woman desperate to get out into the wider world.
Wait till y'all see what they did to Pinocchio, though.
And escaping vicariously through the medium of books just wasn't enough for her. She had to make her into Elon fucking Musk as well. But whatever, it was just a minor change that didn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. But what it did do was set the precedent. The problems, however, became more severe in Mulan, which basically reworked the protagonist's entire character arc to pander to the insufferable modern convention that female characters have to be fundamentally great at everything right off the bat. No inspiring lessons about the value of hard work and perseverance here. It was all about appealing to female empowerment in the laziest, most superficial way possible. Speaking of which, here's a little hint from a January 2022 interview with star Halle Bailey about the direction The Little Mermaid is going to take. I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised by some updates of the themes of the film, more so on Ariel's side of women empowerment and her taking her power back. I mean, I thought the original Ariel was pretty empowered already, considering she saves Prince Eric's life on more than one occasion, and her decisions drive the entire course of the story, but whatever. I guess because she occasionally needs help from other people, she's just not modern enough. Can't wait.
Oh, it's crazy Disney don't show these on TV. I wonder if they even have these on Disney Plus. So I would buy Disney Plus. They got all the old school Disney movies on there. I swear. Ooh, Alley Cats. Boy, I love the chat bringing up some good ones. Alley Cats. Bro, y'all don't know nothing about Alley Cats. Dogs Go to Heaven. Yo, what was that show called, chat, where why should I worry? Why should I care? Y'all remember that was the dog and the cat was singing. I know it wasn't was it Alley Cats? I have to look it up on YouTube. Somebody let me know though.
Wait for Eric to be transformed into the same useless bumbling buffoon
I love that
template
song.
that Disney used for every single male character in their movies these days.
I hated what they did with this dude, Star Wars. What? Why?
And Ariel to be an unstoppable kick-ass girl boss who fixes everything all by herself. Modern writing, everyone. Fuck knows what it must be like to be a little boy growing up in the 2020s. The sad thing, though, is that actresses like Halle Bailey are going to get unfairly caught up in the crossfire here. I mean, I'm sure she's a perfectly nice person that'll do a great job with the role, but none of that really matters because all people are talking about now is the backlash against her casting. And for what? If the real objective here was to create more lead roles for diverse actors, which is absolutely a good thing, then why not come up with new stories specifically for them instead of deliberately stirring up controversy by crowbarring them into stories that have already been told. There's an entire world of rich cultural traditions, legends, and folklore from every conceivable country, race, and creed just waiting for you to try out. So why keep retreading the same ground over and over again? Why keep retelling stories that have already been told far better by previous generations? Oh yeah, of course. And I guess that's what this really comes down to. A quick, easy and reliable way of making money that requires minimal investment of risk or creative energy. It's the same reason that Lucasfilm keeps digging at the hollowed out core of Star Wars, why Paramount subjects us to endless Star Trek prequels, why Amazon are trying to launch their very own Game of Thrones using Tolkien's legacy as $1 billion canvas to finger paint on. And it all just feels so hollow and meaningless. Like these stories were generated by some AI in a lab somewhere in order to generate the highest return possible on investments. I mean, I'm under no illusions that big movie studios were ever particularly invested in artistic expression, but holy shit, there was at least a pretense of trying to tell a worthwhile story along the way. The movies of the Disney Renaissance are so fondly remembered now because they struck the perfect balance between timeless ideas, likeable characters, contemporary humor, creative talent, and vibrant, colourful animation. They sold themselves on their own merits instead of resorting to member berries or cheap manufactured controversy to drum up interest. And as a result, they had to be really fucking good in order to work. And that's the problem. What we're producing now isn't. It's like last night's stale dinner quickly reheated in a microwave and plonked on your plate. But drinker, you magnanimous maestro of media mastication, I hear you say, why worry about this stuff when the original movies are always going to exist? No matter how bad things get now, we can always fire up the classic originals and make sure that the next generation gets to enjoy the kind of timeless entertainment we did as kids. Oh, you sweet summer child, you. The problem is that fewer and fewer people bother to invest in physical media these days, because I guess the effort of heaving their fat, sweaty arses off the couch and shoving a disc into a player is just too big of a time sink in their busy lives. Instead, they resort to doing what pretty much everyone else does these days, and download their movies from a streaming service. But the big problem with digital media is that you don't really own the thing that you're watching. All you've got is a license to download the source file, and if that source file should ever be removed or altered, well, then you're shit out of luck. We've already seen the little edits and tweaks that companies
and this is why people download movies like pirating movies and anime, is because they don't want somebody to go in and change their childhood. And people complain about pirating. It's like, do you care about your classic movies and shows, or do you care about somebody just going in and rearranging and changing stuff, you know? It's that type of reason why people pirated stuff.
Started making to older movies that are now considered problematic. How long do you really think it's going to be before it starts happening to newer stuff? Movies that contain scenes or depictions or story beats that someone somewhere...
And I don't even really buy DVDs like that because there's no point of really having them like that. Like, especially if you got a DVD player in your house. Like, these days, people watching stuff digitally now these days. You got a DVD player, you just have a DVD player just for you and your girl to sit down, kick back, and watch a movie.
Some miserable corner of Twitter finds offensive. Characters that don't quite align with the rules of modern writing. Storylines that go against the message. The fact is, the past is no longer sacred and it definitely isn't safe. Because there are fewer and fewer people who care about preserving it, it's more vulnerable than ever to the insidious, grasping manipulations of the present. Little by little, scene by scene, movie by movie, the stories that once captivated and inspired us are being quietly removed and supplanted by cheap, cynical, soulless reproductions. And if we're not careful, if we don't push back against this shit while there's still time, then we may just find ourselves in a world where there's nothing left to protect. Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
Go away
now.
I completely agree. I 100% agree with him on that stuff. Everything he said is so true. If we don't fight back, you guys, it is over for our shows, our movies, everything. Y'all seen what they did to Dragon Ball? For those my Dragon Ball fans in here, you seen what they did? They went from 2D animation to 3D. Look, one thing I can tell y'all, this is how you, and we got the power to do this. We have the power to fight back. It's called with our wallets. You get your wallet and you say, you know what? I'm gonna fight back. Don't give them your money if you know you're not gonna like what they're putting out. It's just that simple. Just that simple. But anyways, you guys, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to this. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Let's check this joint on out, y'all. This shit ain't gonna be sickening. I ain't gonna lie, Capcom has been killing it. Capcom is dipping their balls in some good juice right now. They feeling themselves. They said they made all this money off Resident Evil and shit. They like, man, we ain't broke no more. We finna show y'all ass. When we get some money, this is what we spending it on.
Is it my turn? Leave it to me. I can go home because I'm
this song better not give me copyright. That's the character up there. Bridget. It's so good.